Yo everyone, it's Tags back again. So after yesterday's terrible, and I mean utterly terrible, summoning session, I decided to go and do a thing. So I played around my account a little bit, managed to get some more shards, maybe bought a pack or two, but I've picked myself up last. So I've just done a couple of preliminary testing on her, and she does absolutely silly damage. So see all my kit, it's pretty alright. It's not amazing. I do have some pretty decent warlord gear slapped on her. But then my other artifacts, my bangles and everything, and my rings are pretty subpar, to be honest with you. But I didn't want to go playing with all my other characters that I'm currently using, all my other heroes for my guild boss team. So I just wanted to throw something on there to test it. So I've just done a quick run on Nightmare 3 because I'm sort of in that precipice. So people say, what is late game, what is mid game? I consider myself sort of going into late game. All my gear raids, and I think a lot of other YouTubers and everyone else will agree, all my gear raids, I am sitting and have completed gear raid 19. And I am working on currently at the moment Void Rift Hard. I probably can do it, but because of life scheduling and everything else, I'm struggling to find the time to really just sit down for hours and grind it out and then get the correct strats. I consider my gear quite highly rated, so I'm considering myself going into late game. I'm working on Guild Boss Hard. So where am I sitting on Guild Boss at the moment? So I haven't done a run yet today, but normally it's about 15.5 million damage on Guild Boss 3. Obviously, when you move on to Guild Boss 4, your damage scales better depending on the debuffs that you're putting on the boss and the power of your characters, and especially your attack rating, you need to be higher, considering some of my heroes are absolutely stacked with attack. So if you have a look at my Salazar, for instance, he's rocking a really high attack total attack at the moment, 20k. And he's pretty good with the attack speed of 469, 100, over 100% crit rate, and 247% crit damage. He is not my most damaging characters. Currently, it's Valeria and Falcia. And obviously, I got super speedy Falcia, and she just literally melts everything. And you can see she doesn't necessarily have the highest attack on my team of only 15k, but a 0.8 second attack interval. She absolutely minces anything, and that's even like throwing her down in Void Rift and using an attacker to block waves in Void Rift hard, especially when you're sort of moving on and progressing to the point I am. Statistically, they should get melted. All of my other fighters do, but Falcia absolutely melts. She honestly does. She's insane. Way better than people think she is. So I've geared up last. Gave her a quick run, and that's what I was running. Nightmare 4, I can sit quite happily at the moment before the third shield phase of the boss, and that is what I'm struggling with. I can hit, I think it's literally just under 10k, it's like 9.9 million, and I can get that just before the third shield. But because a lot of my team, regardless of my damage, had to pause the recording quickly, so I've lost exactly where I am. But yeah, with my Guild Boss damage on hard at the moment, it's about 10k, and I get about 15 on Nightmare 3 or Guild Boss 3. I'm used to playing tons of raid back in the day. So I have done a test run on Nightmare 3, and let's see if that transfers that over. I will say at the moment, so I was just going to test her out first there and show my damage. So 66k, which is pretty high. Obviously, a lot of my other champions are higher. I have got her as high as I can at the moment. I had 7 skill crystals. So currently, as you can see, I am literally just 1 point away, but I've maxed her ultimate. And with her awakenings, I was lucky enough the day before the summon event to pull myself a lovely crystal. But I'm not going to use that just yet. So I'm just going to test it now. because obviously everyone's running crazy super endgame teams. And I understand that if you're like Cold Brew or a couple of the others and they're running majorly stacked teams and they're showing off their damage, what I want to do is try and show her to people that are trying to progress from Nightmare 3 up to Nightmare 4. So I've done 15k damage, and then let's jump into Nightmare 3. I'm not going to pause the recording from now on, so if my toddler comes in wanting more milk, I'm not going to pause it, and you can see how she does. So my current setup at the moment is that, and I'll pause it quickly. Down on the right, we obviously got Mary, you've got Hollow on the bottom. Literally, I'm throwing in one mage. I'm hopefully going to get Silas. I got 6 crystals to pull for the summon event on Friday, so hopefully I get her. And what I do is I pop down Wrath at the top on the front row, wait for all my other Nightmare units down to get the 35% speed bonus, pull Wrath out, and then I drop in Falcia. And then let Falcia go ham. Because once she gets dropped in, obviously she goes absolutely crazy with damage. I've got it so her rage regen, because the rage regen does help when she does attack, boosts her rage regen quick enough. So normally, depending on what phase she gets dropped in on the guild boss, she can get two lots of the true damage status out, 2 ultimates, before that buff runs out from the drop. And I've just tested that out at the moment, and my Valeria is just about surviving. So let's just keep this going and see what happens. I might skip along to the end in a second, but you can see it's running pretty well. So when I did my trial run, I think I got up to 19. So I don't think that was as high as my previous trial I've just done then when I placed her in. 17.4. So that was literally nearly wonky Nightmare 3. You can see there straight away in not the best gear, just some gear I can throw her down on. She's instantly taken over Falcia. And then this is where the rest of my team, where I can really boost my team for the end. I really want to get rid of Nocturne. I do like Nocturne. He is literally working with the same set that you get through progression with the single target damage buff, which I think is the Doom set. And he's still using that. Lucky I got some pretty decent rolls, so I decided to keep it. And obviously Falcia I'm just running along with, but for some reason Salazar, I don't know why, but he is lacking behind. I don't know if that's just a general thing with Salazar. Everyone says he's amazing, obviously with his bleed buff, you know, which I think is personally a little bit too inconsistent, regardless if you haven't fully booked or not, or fully skilled up. But I think it should be more consistent. And mainly Salazar, regardless of his lower damage, currently just under 23 million, he's obviously buffing everyone else. And then obviously we do have Lust, which is steamrolling it, which she, I think, on my last test, pulled a front of Valeria. So that was the damage there with the auto. Obviously you do get your inconsistencies. So now, I'm probably not going to regret this, to be honest, but I'm going to awaken my Lust. Because I would like to do it with like someone like Cyrus, or if I got another Lord, a legendary Lord. They're really who you probably want to put your crystals in. But because of Lust is an exclusive champion, it's going to be just as hard to get as them, to be honest. Unless you really say for like 6 months, and let's say we're lucky next, you know, Valentine's Day in a year's time, they have Lust back. Or they have a special banner of a 10x with just exclusive champions. Don't know. But at the moment, I think she's just as rare as a legendary lord in that regard. So I'm going to put that on her. And plus her awaken 1 after her sinful lash gives defense reduction. And I think this is where it helped her really well. And when I did my first initial run, I attempted to tune it. So obviously it's going to be going crazy fast. It's times 3.5. So let's give it another auto. I tried to have it so each time I was doing my popping my ults, I was trying to get my champions to be able to pop their ults consistently for her to be able to stack. So I'll pop them and try and pop them in a certain order. So then she's going to go absolutely crazy. But at the moment, there we go. Finally got that defense reduction. But it doesn't happen all the time, which I noticed. Because a sinful lash should happen every 2 times another hero pops their ultimate. And obviously I am popping quite a lot of ultimates. If I redone my team with maybe a Rage Region champion and try to rotate that a bit quicker, but I don't think I would improve my damage that much. As I can say, I can remove Nocturne for that role, but then obviously he's actually producing damage of about 13 million, and I don't know if removing him to have someone that can then give me the Rage Region for all my other champions will actually be beneficial to my team. Really what I do need is a Northerner. It's literally the only epic I don't have left in the game that I don't have is the other epic, God, can't even talk, tired. Epic Lord for the Northerner team. So let's see how the damage comes out now on this run. It's pretty much on par with the previous run. So even with damage reduction, it hasn't reaped me any benefits. You can see across the board there is a little bit more damage with certain champions, but there's not massive benefits. But if I can pick up a Silas come tomorrow and use a better ranged champion than Nocturne, Guild Boss, I think we'll be on to a winner. And this is what we're hoping on. So I'm a bit disappointed by her first awakening there. So we see there is like Sinful Lash. So it deals extra 300 damage to when random enemies in range, and minus 20% defense. Obviously that is nightmare free, so the defense on the guild boss in Guild Boss 4 will be massively increased. So I think that particular awakening will have a larger benefit for her. And then you can see here, for every 2 ultimates activated by faction allies of the Nightmare Council, including the hero will trigger Sinful Lash 1 time. I'm going to go for her exclusive artifact. I didn't mention it before, but I've just put Scarlet Hunt just to give her a bit more extra damage. Because obviously we have Salazar running in the team. I don't have the best selection of artifacts at the moment. That's something that I'm really lacking behind, that I do need to continue working on. But I think with her artifact, with 2 lashes, a Sinful Lash, and considering the damage that Sinful Lash can actually do, which is 400% damage on a random enemy, it's obviously a single just really heavy hit, but if that hits twice, you're going to try and break this shield in the Guild Boss 4 and the 3rd phase shield. I think that would definitely help a lot having that artifact first. I think it's probably one of the best exclusive artifacts that you can pick up for any champion, so it's definitely worth going for. So I'm just going to keep it going there and try and progress her a little. What I'll be going on forward to do is have another couple of tests, try her out and see how much damage now with her I can produce in Guild Boss 4. I might possibly wait until I pick up her exclusive artifact before I give that a go and potentially re-gear her. But it has boosted my damage up to nearly a single key Guild Boss 3, which I'm quite happy with, because at the moment on my gear boss, no one is really going for nightmare 3 at the moment. Everyone's sitting in quite happy, just going for 3 because they're obviously getting the double chests, which is potentially more loot. It might not be as high a quality or less chance, but I think everyone in the guild is thinking, well, if I get 2 lots of chances, you could potentially get 2 lots of 200 gems rather than getting 1 lot. Statistically, I think it would probably be better to wait for the guild to either, if you're able to, go for a single run and get max chest on Nightmare 3, and then slowly the guild push into Nightmare 4, or move on and find another guild. So I'm just working out at the moment to see where we get to, but I'm going to leave it there. That's last with a damage in guild boss for a medium mid-game account. And there we go, I got my 5 shards waiting for tomorrow. They're from the packs that I picked up because I was naughty and busted out the card to get myself my lust. So if you like the video, like where I'm working with, if you've got any suggestions, please message. You know, I'm just going to do a couple of videos here and there. I will be boosting my quality of my videos up more. I have got my old gaming PC that I've got, but I've just moved into a brand new house. So we're working in the whole move process and getting everything sorted. So I don't have that currently set up, and I'm trying to find the time with work and working on my new property to be able to dedicate the time into a lot of more concise video editing. So if you like the video, drop us a like. If you have any suggestions, drop me a comment. And that's tags. Peace out.